Hey everybody, it is Tom Selleck for the win. We are here with the beginner series. We have, as you might recall from the last episode, we have built ourselves a hole. We are still in that hole. We are about to get out of that hole. During the last episode, we made some molds, we did a forge, we did a fire, we discovered how to survive our first night. We only have a couple more episodes left in the beginner series. We've covered most everything we need to up to this point. I'm just going to run over a couple of other things as I look up a zombie dress. Right now, though, our main concern is getting the hell out of here. We have at least one and perhaps two Zeds upstairs. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this box and we're going to run like hell and try to line ourselves up to have a shot. It looks like she's going in front of us. Oh, we can't, that's right, I forgot, we can't remove the box, because I was a nice guy and demonstrated to you guys how to upgrade a something. So unfortunately, we're going to have to beat the box, hope for the best, and run like hell. Ooh, we don't have to go away when she's standing in front of us. I can see now what's going to happen, she's going to fall on top of us, or we're going to run right into her. Oh, run like mad! Oh, it's just her. Alright. Oh, I hear more now. Oh, up top. Alright, come down, you. Oh, we got a fatty over here. Let's show you guys how to use a pistol. Oh, I should load that. Oh, I don't have any ammo. It's in the car. Damn! How about one of these instead? Oh, no, I know you've got ammo. You're supposed to load up. I think I must have created just last night. There you go. Headshots. Without a headshot, it takes more than one, so headshots, obviously. I hear more, but I think at this point, we're just going to get the hell out of Dodge. Take our cooking pot with us. Not that we need another one. We already have 3. Alright, so I got rid of a lot of our inventory last night. Just things that we don't need. We're, you know, our goal here is just to kind of show you guys some stuff, not necessarily to master everything. So we're going to take just enough to get by, essentially, and we're going to move on. One of the things we talked about doing is heading back. Oh, we left our sleeping bag somewhere. Is heading back to that little village we looted a couple episodes ago. And just giving you guys a real basic notion of how to do some upgrading of a structure so you can get by for the night if necessary. So, whoops. Actually here, this is something we haven't talked about. So when you have a stack of something, 23 logs, if you left click it moves the whole thing. Right click you can set one down, left click you set them all down. I know this seems pretty basic, but I think it's kind of an important point that you might not figure out on your own right away. If you right-click on a stack, it takes half the stack. Every time you right-click, it takes half. So for our purposes, we want around 5 logs. We're going to get ourselves 80 boards to add to our stack of 11 down here. And then, whoops, let's take a couple of our iron ingots and craft those down into things that we can use to upgrade as well. Okay. So let's go for a little swim. We're good on food, we're good on water, we've got all that worked out. I think we made, did we do goldenrod tea last night? I believe we did. Yes, we discussed goldenrod tea, and we discussed coffee. Let's go ahead and drink a coffee and show you guys how this works exactly. So you see my stamina decreasing as I run right now. We're going to drink a coffee, and now you'll notice that my stamina is no longer decreasing. Basically, until that wears off, that effect wears off, we can run, we can swing weapons, we can do whatever we want as much as we want without fear of running out of juice. Something else I don't believe I've mentioned, you can select your hotbar at the bottom of the screen one of 2 ways. You can press the corresponding number, or you can do what I do, which is mouse wheel, I believe is the default binding for that. Alright, so we're back to our little city. There's not really a building here that I'd like to settle in if given the proper choice. None of them are truly ideal. But given our circumstances, we're going to take what we can get. We're going to pretend that this is our only opportunity. So one thing to note right away is this has a base of some kind of brick or stone, which is going to be more durable than this is. So we have a couple of options on how we can do this. One thing you can do is you can take your axe and you can ditch the stairs. And basically what this will do is make it so the zombies can't crawl up to the front door. So you would just get rid of all of the steps on both sides. Go ahead and get rid of this one. Now you're asking yourself, Jeff, how do I get in? Well, you would get in then, whoops, I can't type, by carrying a wood frame. Place the wood frame, up and up, pick up the wood frame, zombies can't get in. Assuming, of course, that I beat the other side of the stairs away. I'm not going to do both for the simplicity of coming up and down right now. That's a real basic technique that you can use a lot. When you go to one of the cities in the wasteland and you're looting an apartment building, which is an excellent source of food, it's a really great solution for keeping the zombies off of your butt. You just basically would beat away the stairs going from the first floor to the second floor, and in doing so, save yourself. See if I can make a long shot here. Missed the head. Shot too low. Kind of knew that was going to happen. There we go. You beat away those stairs and the zombies can't get to you. So I find it handy, especially if I'm going to go looting, to always carry like 4 or 5 frames with me, whether it's wood or scrap iron or whatever. There's a whole bunch of, if you just type in frame, as we have, you'll see that there's a rebar frame using short iron pipe. There's a scrap frame using scrap iron. Basically, just carry a couple of frames with you, and it makes life a hell of a lot easier. You can do the same thing with cinder blocks. They're just a little less wieldy, a little bit more of a pain in the ass to use. So, alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a door. Because we're early in the game, we can't make a metal door. I know we've already built a forge. We have such a limited supply of iron. I think making a door is our best option. We're also going to introduce the repair tool, which I think we might have used a little bit in the last episode. You can also do this with a stone axe. Repair tool, stone axe, the claw hammer, and the nail gun are the tools that we can use to upgrade things. So to upgrade, you would right click on something. This wood is already upgraded. Actually, here, let's get rid of this crappy wood and put something a little better in. We'll put, whoops, there we go. We'll put wood frames in to blockade this door. My favorite first night survival building, or even I've used it long-term survival, honestly, is you get to a city that's a little bit bigger than this one. It will have maybe a dozen buildings in it, and they always have these little sheds that have iron, like scrap iron, around the whole outside, which is a really, whoops, we need to put frames, which is a really, it's a handy sort of a thing. It's really secure. It works well. We only need one door. What am I doing? Wood frames is what I want. I'm obviously not good at talking and doing things at the same time. Thank God I'm making YouTube videos to really capitalize on my lack of talent. Okay, wood frames have been placed. We're going to right click and go through the upgrade process twice, just like we did to cover our house that night, or our hole that night, I should say. And now we have our door right here. Alright, so the door obviously isn't how we want it. Left click repositions, and right click places. And then with the wood door, we can once again upgrade. And that's as far as we can upgrade, unless it must be metal strips. So we had some short iron pipe. Let's make some metal strips. Oh, you know what it is? I think it's scrap iron, but I thought we had some. Nope, we wrecked all of our scrap iron. So let's go ahead and sacrifice a cooking pot. There we go. Scrap iron is what you need. I think, yep, you can do these as scrap as well, but now we're out. Oh, maybe not. You need more than one? What did that use? Did that use short iron pipe? I don't think so. And it didn't use, maybe we have to have more than one scrap in our inventory? We do. Alright, no problem. We've already seen how to use the pistol. Let's make scrap out of it. Demonstration purposes only. Alright, cool. So now what happens, let's say, I thought I heard a zombie. Can we track one over here somehow? Nope, we don't see any. So what happens is, you're at night, zombies beating on your front door. You can hear them beating on the front door. You make sure that you have as much scrap iron as possible, even if you have to sacrifice something like a gardening hoe or whatever you need to do to have scrap iron. You make sure you have as much scrap iron as possible, and you just sit here and use the right click to upgrade to repair as they break. You can do the same thing with just wood. You just have to be a little more diligent. So we're not too worried about windows in a house like this. It's so high in the air, they're not getting to the windows. Guess we have to go around back. Probably has a back door. With a back door, I would honestly recommend, in a situation like this, get rid of the stairs. You can't get rid of... we don't want to just get rid of, like, just the top or just the bottom. They can do some freaky stuff where they jump up and all that. Actually, can we just repair this door? Yeah, there we go. We've upgraded that door. So we would upgrade the door in case, but in this case, I think we would honestly also get rid of the steps. You probably could, or maybe even should, do the same up front. I guess it kind of depends on what you want to do, but I think getting rid of the steps in general as the last thing you do at night is a good plan. This is going to be loud, sorry. You almost can't turn the volume down enough in this game to make beating metal not incredibly loud. I did that for the scrap iron. So basically, we've fortified this building now as good as we're going to be able to get it. We've got the doors, we would get rid of the steps, we would do the same out front, and we should be pretty safe in here for the night. You might want to, you would want to put a campfire in here, of course, just like we did. Basically, the things that we did last night in the last episode, I'll put a link in the description below to the last episode. Basically, the things we did for that episode, we would do the same here. We would just have a larger house, essentially. So, putting in a torch so you can see what the hell you're doing might help. I don't remember if we went upstairs when we looted this. We did not. Sounds like ammunition. Nothing we really need, considering what we're doing with the series at this point. So, there you go. Now we have discovered how to survive the night. I think the next thing we're going to do for this episode is... Oh, actually, I caught myself. For future reference, if you hold the E, it gives you the option to lock doors. You can still open them and close them. Nobody else can. They'd have to beat their way through. You can also set a passcode that you can give to your friend. Maybe you guys are in a server together, a game together. You can give them a passcode. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to farm. Farming is fun. Let's have a little drink before we get too far here. And we'll eat some venison. And now we will make a farm. So, here, let's put our sleep. Oops, don't put it on the ground. Let's actually place it. Just in case. Oh, crap. Go. There we are. I was pressing the wrong key. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to farm. We have the hoe down here. Let's put our axe back. I don't think we have any seeds, but we can solve that in very short order. So, let's take a cotton plant. And if we place any plant like this in the center, it will give us seed. Same thing for goldenrod. For goldenrod seeds. If you cut down a tree, there's a good chance that you'll get some seed from that as well. I believe the maple trees just feel like they're a little more generous than some of the other trees. Of course, that one doesn't give us any seeds. I kind of want to show you the full gamut here, so we'll cut down another tree just in case. Or not just in case, but to try and get some seeds. There we go, maple seed. You see those red flowers? You can also plant those, but they're useless. They're pretty. That's it. Alright, so to plant a tree, we have one maple seed, I believe. You just have to place it. Nothing fancy. And a day or two of game time, it doesn't take long, I don't know the exact amount, that baby will grow. If you try to do that with most plants, they will disappear. For the other stuff, you need to actually create a little garden, a little windrow. So the way we do that is we right-click. And you want to do it in a straight line. You have to line up with the system, the game's block system, so make sure you go in a straight line. You can't do it over grass. There we go. You can see that we have kind of the dark spot down the center. That's our main spot, or our planting row, I guess. So here's something else to note. And this is very important. It's a lesson that most people, including yours truly, learned the hard way. I hate grass. I wish they put a lawnmower in the game. Technically, we could hoe right here. But you'll see what happens. It just moves our row over, right? Oh, we have to go right. There we go. It just moves it over. If you have something planted here, and you come over right next to it, it will destroy whatever it was you had planted. So what you need to do, if you're going to do a garden on any scale, there we go, is you need to come over not 1 block, you need to come over 2 blocks. Oops, I'm not looking down quite far enough. And if you come over 2 blocks, you won't run into that issue. Let's plant. Oh, we have our seed right here. So we're going to do goldenrod, goldenrod, goldenrod. Oh, I left a space. You can see right here. It's a little bit funky. Sometimes it doesn't let you place. You cannot plant over. I'm right-clicking like crazy. You can probably hear it in the background. You cannot plant over a plant. So once it's planted, you don't have to worry about canceling it. And there is our cotton. So in a day or two, we'll have cotton and goldenrod. And you can basically, every goldenrod produces 4 seeds. So what you do is you start with a small amount. You have 4 of them here. Next, you start with 1 plant. Next thing you know, you'll have 16 seeds. You can do 16 plants. Corn, potatoes, all the same. So I will say this, corn is pretty easy to find. I know we haven't found it yet. We're going to attempt to do that in the next episode. I'm basically going to do some off-camera running. I'm going to try to find us some plains. I'm going to try to find us some desert. I'm going to try to find us some wasteland. And we'll do an episode on each, the virtues of each. But you find corn in plains. You can find potatoes. Potatoes are a semi-rare item. Basically, you can find potatoes in containers or in buildings and cabinets in the wasteland is your most common area. When you get a potato, don't eat that thing, man. You have to convert the potato into seeds and you have to plant it. They're rare enough that you need to build up a supply early in the game. Potatoes and corn are very important for making stew, which I don't think, yeah, the stew doesn't show up here. It only shows up in the if you're cooking. Venison stew, rabbit stew, vegetable stew, all very important. They hydrate you greatly and they fill you greatly. It's going to become the staple of your diet later in the game. Yeah, it's pretty key. You're going to be not eating canned food as much. You're not going to be scavenging as much. You're going to be creating a lot of your own food. So we definitely need potatoes. Get those early. Hang on to them. Don't lose them. Don't give them up. Another thing that I'll mention is, I don't know if we've run across it, but moldy bread is another thing that you want to hang on to. You can use that to make antibiotics later. So just kind of a tip on things that you get early that you're like, what the hell do I need this for? Maybe take a minute and discuss some things you don't need. Things you don't need. Lead batteries. Don't worry about lead batteries, scrap lead, lead trophies. Don't worry about anything lead. Fishing, there's fishing weights that are made from lead. You know, actually, I can run some direction and try to find our next biome while I talk here. You don't want lead. When you start mining, you get so damn much lead that the last thing you need is to be taking up inventory space for it now. So maybe mining is something else we could discuss before we wrap this bad boy up. What else don't you need? Basically, you know, it depends on where you are with a pistol. I'm not a huge pistol fan. They're handy for shooting the dogs that you run into later in the game. Or not even later in the game, when you get to the wasteland. I'm not a big pistol guy. I'm not a big hunting rifle guy. With the hunting rifle, it doesn't have a scope, so it doesn't zoom in any more than the crossbow does. Speaking of which, we should probably have that in our hands. The crossbow definitely does have a little bit more travel time on the arrow than a bullet does coming out of the hunting rifle, but their power is similar and it's silent. I would much rather have a crossbow than a hunting rifle. So what I generally do is I take hunting rifle parts and I take pistol parts and I just turn them into scrap iron. I find scrap iron to be a bigger, more important thing early in games. We don't need any of that stuff now. Actually, do we have boots? I was right, I went all leather. I find those to be a much more important sort of a thing, the scrap iron, than gun parts early in the game. The gun parts that you do want to hang on to, that you don't want to give up, are the SMG, the submachine gun parts, and the sniper rifle parts. They're much more rare, much harder to find, and much more important to your efforts in the game. So we don't want to get rid of those, but we can't be afraid to get rid of pistol and hunting rifle parts. Shotgun parts is another thing that the regular shotgun, hang on to that stuff. Definitely hang on to the metal stuff. We discussed this in an earlier episode, but we're not so interested in the shotgun pump or the shotgun stock. We can craft those wood parts very easily. It's not worth taking up the inventory space. So you basically just want to save the receiver. We're out of gas here. We basically just want to save the receiver and the barrel. We don't want the shotgun short barrel, and we don't want the shotgun, any of the short shotgun parts we don't want. The short shotgun is crappy. It's not nearly as good as the regular shotgun, so don't waste your inventory space. Basically look out for regular shotgun parts. Other stuff that's not really important to keep, unless you're playing in a multiplayer server, and even then, I find the blood draw kit to be virtually useless. Basically, it just makes a blood bag. So, I mean, you could draw your blood when you're healthy, just to hang on to a blood bag for when you're not. But, you know, it's not hard to find healing bandages. We already have 9 medical kits, and we're 1 day into the game. And they fill about half your health, so there's not really much reason for any of those. I shot a deer in the head. I don't know why, because we don't really need any venison. I guess another piece of knowledge I'll impart upon you. Where'd you go, little guy? Did I run by you like a dummy? When you kill an animal and take its stuff... Oh, am I totally unable to see? Oh, whatever, we don't need the meat. I'm running away. I feel stupid now. It leaves behind a bloody carcass with the bigger animals. Oh, look at this, a plains biome, where I know where I'm starting the next episode. Destroy the carcass if it's close to your home. It can attract zombies, so if you have a carcass, destroy it. You know what? I think we're going to wrap her up there. We're going to start right here next time in the plains. We're going to talk about the things about the plains that are good. We'll do a little bit of mining, and yeah, that should wrap it up. So, if you would please give me a like on the video if you like it. Give me a like on the video if you don't like it. I don't really care if you liked it or not. I just care if you click like. I also care if you subscribe. We like subscribers. I care if you share. Sharing is caring. Follow me on Twitter. Link in the description. That should wrap it up. Tom Selleck for the win. We'll see you soon with the next episode.